PETA, people eating tasty animals. PETA calls to end Groundhog Day tradition, replace Puxatawny Phil with vegan weather reveal cake. You want to switch the news there? People for the ethical treatment of animals. Is that what it stands for? Don't they like euthanize a bunch of animals? I think I read that somewhere.
In situations that would be considered ethical?
Okay.
Living in disease and squalor?
Okay, I don't get them. I really don't. So PETA is calling an axe to a beloved American tradition and to replace it with what it calls a delicious vegan substitution. The animal nonprofit organization is seeking to replace the Groundhog Day tradition with a vegan weather reveal cake. PETA announced the proposal in a news release on January 20th. PETA will deliver delicious weather reveal vegan cake each Groundhog Day in perpetuity if the Puxatawny Groundhog Club agrees to let Puxatawny Phil and his family retire to a reputable sanctuary, a move that will earn the outfit kudos from wildlife fans, the press release stated. PETA also published a pun-filled letter to the Puxatawny Groundhog Club, arguing that the groundhog's annual duties were no piece of cake for him. This is not the way you do it. Puns are not the way to do it. Anyway, it's like, regardless of what you feel on the issue, puns are not the way to do this. Groundhogs are shy prey animals who, when allowed, actively avoid humans. Yet year after year, Phil is transported to Gobbler's Knob, whisked on stage, and subjected to a noisy announcer, screaming crowds, flashing lights against his natural instincts. Yeah, but he's a celebrity. If approached in his natural habitat, he would run away in fear, not volunteer to live year-round in captivity. Blah, 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 that poor friggin' groundhog. Tell me more about the cake. Fake meteorologist. Yeah. What about the cake? Poor groundhog. Weather reveal cake that revelers can enjoy as an alternative to exploiting wild animals. Time is long overdue. PETA has called for groundhog alternatives in the past, including offering to send a giant gold coin to replace the animal in 2024. Like flip the coin. Groundhog Day has been celebrated in the U.S. since 1887. Thousands of observers flock to Puxatawny, Philadelphia, every year, February 2nd, to see Phil predict the weather. You can't write that. To see Phil predict the weather. That's not what he's doing, though. I mean, I'm on PETA's side. Phil has no idea what's going on. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do this thing, but Phil has no idea. You can't write a sentence like that. Every year on February 2nd, to see Phil predict the weather. Every year on February 2nd, to pretend Phil sees the weather, predicts the weather. That should do. Tradition dictates that if Phil sees a shadow at daybreak and runs away, 6 more weeks of winter it will follow, which should happen every year, considering PETA says they wants to run away all the time. However, no shadow spring will arrive sooner. So here's the thing. If I know it's absurd to think that a groundhog can predict the weather, but it's even more absurd to think a cake can. All right? Flipping a coin is just straight up randomization. But apparently they have guys that talk to these groundhogs. You know, like Charlie Kelly can speak to birds.
He's a bird lawyer.
He's a bird lawyer, yeah. Oh, that's right. He had to get that expert, that ornithological expert, to speak to the birds. Yeah, he did say he was fluent in a little bit of pigeon.
Right.
So he does speak pigeon. Anyway, and my point is that it is absurd to ask a groundhog if spring's coming sooner, but at least it's a living creature, and that kind of makes sense. Animals are lesser than us, PETA. I don't think we should kill them or hurt them unnecessarily, but we can certainly keep them in captivity. Besides, they love being with us. They love it. Dogs figured this out first and have since then chased off every single other creature trying to make friends with us. The dogs want us for themselves. Oh my God, what's going on in my head today?